Welcome to another live stream. Hope you guys are doing great today. It's my little intro song. It's terrible. But yeah, this is kind of like I don't know, a little bit of a improv 2 video. Get that out of the way. Yeah, so we're gonna be talking about some classified today. And I'm only going to be talking about 2 figures outside of classified, but they kind of fit right in. And I just wanted to touch on them really quick. Just because, what you call it? I made a video about these figures, all like the whole wave that I bought. And then for some reason the file got corrupted or whatever hell happened, and I just basically had to delete it, and then I was going to have to start all over again. So I don't know if I'm going to reshoot that video. Hopefully I can, or I can in the next couple days. I am on a mini staycation right now, so I'm just kind of chilling at home and doing what I want to do for the next like week. So hopefully I can get some content out to you guys on a consistent level. But let's not waste any time here. The 2 figures I was talking about that I'm alluding to here is Terry. What's up, buddy? It's the Operation Monster Force. There's 2 others that I don't have in the room right here. Like I'm probably gonna have to reshoot the video for them, but I have the others from this wave that I think I have 2 others in this wave that I picked up. This is General Brown, and that is the agent character, but this head actually came with, I think, this head came with that body. But anyway, I digress. I wanted to touch on these really quick, just because they are kind of GI Joe adjacent, and as you can see here, I kind of have him set up as General Flag. That's pretty much what he is, and he comes with 2 other heads. He comes with a what you call it, a oh my god, I can't think of his name. Chubbs from friggin' why do I remember that name and not his real name? Oh my god. But anyway, comes with that head, and it also comes with a Thunderbolt Ross head, and then it comes with this General Flag head, which is pretty much what I'm going to be using this guy for, is General Flag. And then this guy came with like a black ghoul head, with a neck too. And then he also came with this head, which is very reminiscent of Joel Colton. So this is going to be my Joe Colton. In some iterations, he wore a black suit, and in other iterations, he wore a blue suit. I was not fortunate enough to get. I think I actually canceled the pre-order for the Soldiers of Fortune with the hooded Cobra Commander head. So I canceled that one because I got this one. So, but this is fine. And I'm sure Hasbro is probably going to make a hooded Cobra Commander because it's going to make them money at the end of the day anyway. So they'll probably do it regardless. I know a lot of people are naysaying it, but I think they're going to do it anyway. So there's my Joel, not with an L, Joe Colton, and General Flag. 2, I think, muskets that I think we will eventually get in the line, but I just really like the sculpt of this head, that head, the glasses. I don't know. Everything really works well with these. The detail, the paint, apps, everything. And I don't know if we're gonna get a General Flag. Maybe we will down the road if they really deem it necessary for Hasbro. But for right now, this is gonna have to do. I gotta switch my hand over here. This is gonna have to do for now. So let me back my lighting off because I feel like I'm blinding everybody. There we go. That's probably a little bit better. So there they are. And there's a lot I'm going to get to here. There is a whole lot. So we're going to take our time. This is going to be a longer live stream today because there's a lot in here. I'd like to do reviews of all of these, but I don't know within what time frame I will be able to get those done. The next one I want to talk about, which is a one that I got a while ago, um, is let me see if I can get his hand in the gun here. And I just turned it upside down. While I'm doing this, I will give you guys a little update. I know you guys probably saw my post, if you did, on my community page for YouTube, that I did reach out the next day to um, what do you call it, Skeletron, and they reached out right back the next day, like early in the morning too. And they said they were really sorry for any breakage issues, and they already sent me new wings already. I already have them. So so a little update per that live review. Good on Skeletron. They did a great job with their customer service, customer care. Um, I showed them a video clip of it, and I showed them to a couple photos of it where the cracks were. So they were awesome. Um, and so big shout out to Skeletron. They did a fantastic job with replacements and all of that, and they shipped it out really, really quick. I got it within 3 days of me sending an email. So very happy with them. No issues whatsoever with their customer service. All right, so the next figure I'm going to talk about here is the Grim Viper. This is a really cool one. I was pretty, you know, excited that we were getting a newer character. Um, I wish they would go a little bit further with these newer characters and give them, some sort of bio. Like if you're going to give us a new character, you should give us some sort of character bio. I think at least the new characters should have some sort of backstory or something to them. Um, because I mean, when GI Joe, the '80s GI Joe was um, just starting up, I mean, you pretty much had to figure out who these people were via a file card, and it would just be nice if we actually got a file card with these guys. Like I said, at least it's just the new characters. It would make a lot of sense. But I think he's pretty cool. He's on a little bit of a larger body. He's not too large though. And just for a comparison, let me bring Sarge in here. And these two are around the same height. Sarge might be a little bit taller, but he is on a bigger, buffer body, so that is pretty cool. So he's not as tall, but he is just as buff. And you can see their arm sizes. These might actually be the same arms reused. I don't know, but he's pretty cool. He's definitely bigger than the other range vipers, which is really nice to see. I do kind of wish that he wasn't having to lug around a a friggin' minigun because or this isn't even a minigun. This is like a Gatling gun. Brenda, how you doing? Hello, welcome, welcome. And but yeah, this is a really nice figure. It comes with the reused Range Viper backpack, reused Range Viper head, and I think it comes with that new Sergeant Slaughter that you just saw. His holster here. I think these are the Sergeant Slaughter, those newer Sergeant Slaughter legs. Yeah, I think those are. I'm not sure what upper torso he uses. It might be the old Range Viper torso. I'm not 100% sure on that, so don't quote me on that. But yeah, so that's a thing. Bigger arms. He might be using the same covers as Alpine. I'm not 100% sure on that, but they look like Alpine covers. So I'm pretty sure this is a newer belt. He does come with a sidearm, all that fun jazz. Two knives, which is pretty cool. I like that knife quite a bit. And this big old Crocodile Dundee knife right here. Not awesome knife. There we go. So he's simple but pretty cool. I like I said, give us some more new characters and go wild with it. I mean, I don't even mind if they reuse parts. That's kind of GI Joe's thing. Reuse parts for a new character. Like I said, as much as I like Parth Varma, Wolf Spider, I I feel like an unmasked head is paramount with a newer character. So hopefully we get that in the future. At least put some tooling, some money and some tooling into the new head. That would be nice. So there is the Grim Viper. Next up, I really wasn't planning on picking this guy up, but I guess Strident kind of sold me on him. He was like, "Oh well, give him a chance. You know, he's actually a really good figure." And for the price that I got him, I think he was on sale on Amazon for around $28, which is a little bit of a price dip from the 34 originally. But it's Budo. I never really liked Budo that much as a vintage figure, but when I saw this and the amount of like sculpted detail and variety that you got with this, the fact that you can make him have two different looks, or you can put that armor onto a totally different and make a totally different character out of it, is really really nice, really cool. And as much as I don't really care that much for the character, um, this is actually a really good action figure. So I'm actually really 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 impressed with this. I want to say this is probably one of the better ones that was offered last year. And but yeah, there is Mr. Budo himself. Not a part of Ninja Force, actually. He's one of the few that were not a part of Ninja Force. So, but there he is. He's pretty cool. He's fun. He comes with a bunch of stuff. I'm probably going to be doing a full review. Comes with a big old holy shit katana, and then a smaller one. I'm not sure if I'm saying the sword name right. I'm kind of a dumbass when it comes to those. I'm not a bladed weapon guy. Uh, more of a gun guy, I guess. But I really like the armor. Like I said, you can make him give him this more modern look, or you can give him that classic kind of samurai look, which is really nice. So that's pretty cool. Anything else about this guy? You guys have any questions? Did you end up picking up Budo? Let me know in the comments below as I try to adjust my camera so it's not so looking like it's off kilter here. Sorry about that. But yeah, Budo is really cool. I also like the other head that he comes with. Looks very John Wickish. So you could even use the extra head and the extra mask that he comes with for a totally new character, which is nice. So there is Budo. Put Budo back over there for now. Let's get on with him. All right, we'll go with Big Lob next. He is a tall gentleman, and he should be because he is a basketball player. Not that all basketball players are tall, but the majority of them are. Um, he's more like a either like a forward or a center or something like that. I've noticed that, and I just got this guy maybe about a week and a half ago, maybe about 2 weeks ago, something like that. Um, it's good to see you again. Oh, it's nice to see you too. Thanks for popping in, Brenda. I appreciate it. But yeah, this guy is pretty fun and more fun than I thought it was going to be. I think at one point I actually did get from downtown. That's right, NBA Jam, man. Oh my god, so many fun memories of NBA Jam. Um, I was never really big into NBA. I think I had like a summer one year when I was like, I don't know, 13 or 14, when I was like really into the NBA. And then when Jordan was like in his prime, I was watching it because my dad would watch it all the time. But I am noticing, like I said, I've only had this guy about 2 weeks, and his ankles are excessively floppy. They are just like really not fun to play around with. They are just jiggly, all wiggly, all over the place. And he doesn't have like a whole lot of range of motion when it comes to like a foot tilt. But I don't know. I like the basketball reuse from the starting lineup by Hasbro, and he's kind of palming the ball right there. I'm pretty sure the sneakers are probably reused from there too. The upper torso, I don't think is reused at all. I think this is actually a newer upper torso and newer legs. So I don't know. I'm kind of wondering like what they're gonna if they're gonna reuse these long legs for somebody else down the road, maybe a new character, something like that. I don't know. But this is definitely a very unique mold for him. So they put a lot of tender love and care into him, which is pretty cool to see. Um, so, but there's Big Lob. You kind of need him um, if you're gonna finish off that the what you call it the crew from GI Joe the movie. Was it the Roughnecks? Yeah, I think it was Roughnecks. I can't think of anything. I'm like dehydrated or something right now. I don't know what's going on. I just chugged like 5 glasses of water. Rawhides, that's what it is. Rawhides. There we go. Roughnecks. What the hell is Roughnecks from? I was just watching. I think I was just watching a movie with somebody. Roughnecks. Movie is that from? Damn it! I did actually see the new Scream, and I was not impressed whatsoever. And I'm a big horror fan with Scream, but it was kind of the shits a little bit of the shit. I thought it was better than the last two because I was not a big fan of the last two movies at all, especially that one in New York. That was terrible. But you said what? Yeah, yeah. New Scream was not very good at all. Like I said, I still think it's better than the last two, but I think it's not as good as the first three. A lot of people diss Scream 3, but that's the most proficient killer out of all the Screams was Roman Bridger. Roman Bridger. Uh, remember Jason in New York? Oh yeah, God, that movie was terrible too. Fun, but terrible. When he punched that one guy's head off and it went right into the dumpster and the dumpster closed. Oh my God, it was hilarious. Hilarious. But there's a Big Lob. Like I said, watch out for those ankles and notice the jiggliness. He's super jiggly. Maybe he's like trying to juke somebody. That's like the jiggle factor. It's like, oh, we're going this way? No, going that way. Oh. Anyway. Um so there's that. Next up, I'll get to this guy. This is another figure I actually had no inkling on getting initially. And then I actually watched a review on him and I was sold because he's actually far better than the original. This is the retro carded bat. It's just far better in a lot of ways than the original one, and I actually am a big fan of the original one. So, do you think the new Mummy movie will be better than Scream? I don't know. I know Brendan Fraser's back. I know the original cast is back. I don't know if the kids are going to be in it. I don't know too much about the new Mummy movie. Um, but and I don't know how they're going to handle it. Is the brother going to be in it too? That's the other thing. I don't know, but I know they got Brendan Fraser back. I know they got Rachel Weisz back, which is really nice because she wasn't in that last one. And I guess from what I heard, the new Mummy movie is actually supposed to take place of the fourth, third or fourth film. I think there's one film with Jet Li in it. I don't know. I never really watched. I think I watched like part of it and I turned it off. But it's the one without Rachel Weisz in it. They're taking that out of the continuity and putting this new one in that place. They do that a lot with modern movies. I noticed that they did that with like the Halloween movies. They're like, oh no, this is going to replace Halloween 2, and I'm like, what was wrong with Halloween 2? Other than Michael Myers did get blown up, but regardless of that, I still like Halloween 1 and 2. I think it's the definitive movie. I don't like any of the newer Halloween movies. I don't like any of them. So yeah, I'm good with the newer movies kind of replacing some of the old ones. I don't like that very much. No, not that Mummy. There's another one out. I don't know anything about another Mummy movie. I thought you were talking about the Brendan Fraser one. Let me know who's in it, Brenda, because I would like to know. But anyway, the send you clip your event. Okay, yeah, do that, please. So the new one is got a far better paint job, and this is the reason why it really trumps it. There's not really anything new about him as far as the articulation, range of motion, and anything like that. He did. We do have some different effects for him now, a flame effect and like this like laser beam effect, which is really nice. You still get the battle damage chest piece, but now it's clear, and that one's clear too. That's non-battle damage head. But then the battle damage head also has some better paint apps than the original too, where I think it was just a solid yellow eye. This one has some black paint in it, which is really nice. So that's pretty cool. Battle damage is still the same though, nothing different. Cobra's Terminator. That's right. I mean, these things are horrifying when you think about it. Like in the cartoon, they were seen as kind of like a joke, but in reality, when you think about it, if these things actually existed, they'd be absolutely horrifying. It's like they were made of paper mache in the friggin' cartoon. They would you if you farted in their direction, they would explode. You know. But also the paint apps on the claw, they have better paint apps on the claw. You can see like there's some black shading going throughout, and there's also black shading going throughout the arms. And I want to say some of the silver pieces are a little bit more chromy. That makes sense. Oh my god, Yawnville. And then over here, you can also see on the flamethrower that it's got this like black paint on there to make it look like it's charbroiled. And then if you take the flame effect right here and pop it in, you can get yourself a nice little flambe. Flambe from Bombay, you know? So that looks really nice. That's a nice touch. And you can still store everything on his backpack and everything. I'm probably going to have him with the attachments, and then you see his like laser gun, and it's got some almost like some like heat damage right here. It goes from like blue to purple, and then almost like a pink, which is really really nice. And then you can also pop the other effect in there. Oops. And now shoot your little laser at somebody. There you go. I'm hoping in the future if I could suggest something that I'm pretty sure Hasbro doesn't know anything about my channel or anything like that. But as far as fan fiction, it would be nice. No, this isn't even fan fiction. This was actually existed within GI Joe already. If we could get different versions of the Bat, not just Bat V1 all the time, Bat version 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. That would be really nice if we can get some more modern takes on the Bat, the Cobra Bat, instead of just re-releasing the same old Bat over and over again. While this one is, I think, superior in a lot of paint app ways, um, this is more of like a classic look with the clearer part, whereas the original, the first release, was a little bit more modern because it did have a solid black piece. It looked more armored. Um, so there's that. But it is nice to see the inner workings now. So that's pretty cool too. So maybe this will be my Bat version 1. Um, and then I'll use the other ones as the more like modern looking ones, So that could work. Let's see what everybody's saying here. Uh, Not such a joke in the favorite things episode. The bat was built to last. Um, They started off tough, but became tissue paper later on. This, yeah, exactly. Um, that's true. In the favorite things episode, they were not such a joke. But it's like if you saw them, well, and there's a couple others like that one. What was it? That one? I think it was like a dream sequence one, or it was one where they were like in the Arctic. I can't remember the name. They were like the Joes were in the Arctic and they were trying to attack. I think like a Cobra base, and they sent the bats out, and the bats like destroyed all of their um, the whales that they had. They were attacking the base with. Like one like sliced one in half, like not in half, but he like sliced the hover section of it, and they like three bats took out like three whales. So I mean that was pretty cool. But I mean, for the most part, like they were, I don't know, kind of a joke for the most part. Let's see what everybody else is saying. And the Deke ones are afraid of grenades. Overkill. I'm really looking forward to Overkill. He is one of my all-time favorite GI Joe figures and all-time favorite characters for the GI Joe brand. But as far as Cobra goes, he's way up on the list as far as Cobra characters. I want to say probably top three for me. A lot of people don't like or even talk about Overkill that much, but he's always been a high favorite of mine. Same thing with Guillotine, and there's a few others. Shadow Tracker, I think, is still my all-time favorite, but I would say Overkill is probably number two. That's from Serpentor Rise 3. No, I don't think it is. Yeah, I have four dogs. They're gonna bark. By the way, there's nobody here. I know there's nobody here. All I can do is shut the door, really, because I'm home alone and there's four dogs downstairs. So, um, but anyway, let's see what else we got here. March, March Arkness. Sorry, I was trying to read your name. I also don't have my glasses, so it's hard for me to read today. That was the episode where Dial Tone, Shipwreck, Lifeline were promoted to Colonel. Yes, yes, that's the one. That's the one. Yep, you nailed it. March Arkness. Nailed it. Because I was just watching it the other day. I was like, damn, those bats really messed them up. um, but yeah, while I'm doing that, I can guess I can. I'm probably gonna have to heat these arms up. So for now, I'll just put these attachments over here. Put that there. But yeah, that was a good episode. There's a lot of like good episodes where there are definitely some filler episodes because I mean what we get like 65 episodes like in a season, so you're gonna have like a whole bunch of filler stuff. But regardless, still a really good figure, and if you haven't picked him up, I would consider it. But yeah, I would like some of the. Like, if you guys remember, I think I even have the video up on my archive for my channel. Like I did the Bat Attack, um, the Bat Attack 5 pack, and it came with Overkill and two or three versions of the bat of different bats. Like not there was no V1 V2 in there either, because I think the V2 version was in the FSS club, and then the V1s were all part of the 25th anniversary figure line. So all the later ones that were featured in like Venom versus Valor, Venom versus Valor, or Valor versus Venom. I'm saying it backwards. And then the subsequent other lines after that, or before it. So pretty cool though. Sent your email. Okay, yeah, I think I just got the notification for it. Thank you, Brenda. I'll be sure to check that out. I appreciate you sending me that. Yeah, the version from Sigma 6. Yeah, yeah, they kind of had like antenna on each side of their heads, and they kind of had these like feet that looked like those like amputee legs that like help you run really fast. I don't know what they're called specifically, but they look kind of like they have those legs, which is horrifying. And then they have like all of these like different attachments with their arms and stuff like that, which is similar to the other bats, but I think they're far more horrifying. And then there was another version of the bat too, also that was after that. But yeah, I don't know. I've always liked the bats. I think they're really cool. I think they're terrifying, and I was also big into Terminator, so it just made sense fitting in with what I like. But yeah, I hope we get different versions of the bat. I think that would be amazing. But I don't think anybody's really brought that up. So, all right. Next one is kind of the elephant in the room, I want to say, at the moment. So we'll talk about him next. And it is the Special Forces Recon Patrol soldier. I actually ended up getting this for free because I didn't even order it. I ordered two of the Royal Guard from Amazon, and I got one Royal Guard, and I got this guy. So I ended up calling Amazon, and I was like, "Hey, I didn't get my item. I got some other item," and they were like, "Okay, we'll just keep that, and we'll refund you." And I was like, "Oh, okay." So I got this guy for free. Um, if I would have paid 42 or 40, I think it's like technically 43, and then probably $45 after tax, or $46, whatever it is, depending on where you live. I would be kind of pissed because there's a lot of. Oh, hold on, we got a question here or a statement. My solution to the promotion plot. Convince Colonel Shipwreck he needs to celebrate off base and drink. Tell Lifeline he doesn't have to accept and bury dial tone under paperwork. Okay, that could work. That could work. I could do it. It's a good episode, though. Definitely a good episode. It could work. It was pretty funny. What was it? The one dream sequence one with Lifeline where they're all having nightmares, and like the episode starts off and they're all like, what was it? I think Lifeline and Iceberg, and he's trying to save Iceberg, and Iceberg like dies and then falls into the water in the last ditch effort. He gives him his gun. He's like, "You gotta kill him. You gotta shoot him." He's like, "I can't." It was like kind of like a little shocking, but also kind of funny because Lifeline's a pacifist, and he's like, "I can't do it." And I'm like, "It's a big snake. Like, who gives a shit? It's a big snake that's about to eat you. You're just gonna let it eat you? Come on now, come on now. I know you're pacifist, but for God's sake, let's be serious here. If a friggin' bear is running at you, like, what are you gonna do? Just let it eat you? Screw it." But anyway, the recon soldier or a special forces soldier, he's cool to a certain extent. There's a lot of reuse here. I think these are stalker arms. You've got the anniversary army. I think it's army infantry guy legs, which I'm not a big fan of these legs. I'm not. That's a story for a different time. But I do want to say something that Classified has some of the most frustrating feet in a toy line that I've ever had to deal with. They always like do this rounded toe, like the toe kicks up, and it causes the figures to constantly like do this all the time, wobble all the time. Like there's some where their feet are flat, but in a lot of cases their feet are rounded up. Let me see if I can find one that has it. But these are some of those feet, and they're kind of rounded up. Like it's really bad on Slice and Dice. It's really bad on the Scorpion, Deluxe Scorpion, Desert Scorpion. Excuse me. It's really bad on some of them. They need to flatten the damn feet so they can stand with confidence. Like there's a lot of cases where they just don't like to do it, and they keep. I don't know who the sculptor is over there, but stop rounding the feet off. It's driving me nuts. And what I mean is they're actually it's not rounding, it's curving the feet at the toe up. So it's like they all have like almost like a slight bent toe. And you need a flat foot for an action figure to stand or even be able to pose properly. It's almost like it's like if you really want them to like pose like that, then I guess even though I don't like it, put toe articulation in there, but stop doing this. Stop. You see how it's got a slight tilt up? Stop doing that. Just make the foot flat. Stop. Stop. Just whoever's at Hasbro, stop doing that. Anyway, the that's my rant for the day. There's I want to say really not too much new. I think the vest is new. This pouch attachment piece on the back is new. The helmet might be new. It looks new. The glasses are reused. The head has decent paint on it. I want to say for the most part, the fatigue paint is pretty decently done. What else? We really got to stop doing like green plastic or tan plastic or any colored plastic. Just do black for the guns, for God's sake. Can you please just do that? I don't know why they do this. I don't know, even know if it costs them more money to do that, but just stop doing it. Just do black plastic. It's really not hard to do that. I'm not sure if this is a new pistol. It might be new. I'm not 100% sure on that, but it looks kind of newish. It looks like it might be a new sculpt, to be honest with you. Kind of looks like this is what all the craze is right now. Red dots, or not red dots, sights on your pistol. I'm not a big fan of it, but that's all the new craze. But I'm trying to think of anything else. He comes with this same rifle from Leatherneck. He does have his little patches right there on the side of him, which is pretty cool. I'm now that I mean I got this guy, I was actually considering turning him into like some sort of Joe. I don't know, because he is like a special forces dude. It would make sense that he would be on a GI Joe team, but I don't know. We'll have to see. I was leaning more towards something like I don't know, like a mongoose or something like that. Some sort of animal that would eat snakes, something like that. But I don't know. We'll see. But I mean, he's all right. I would not pay 40 whatever dollars he's going for retail. I would wait for this to go on discount. I think at my local Target, I saw like 5 of them and they were just sitting there. So they're not really moving that well. So I would be patient on this one. Or put in an Amazon order like I did, and maybe this will just show up. I don't know, but he's fun to play around with, but not for $42. No, thank you. Or $43 technically. All right, next one we'll talk about is I don't think I talked about these two. Lieutenant Mongoose. Yeah, I mean that could be it. Captain Mongoose. Captain Mongoose sounds like a superhero. You know. I don't think I talked about these two. I showed them earlier. I think I was initially going to do a review, but I think I'm going to wait for the other 2-pack to come out to finish off the Marauders. So that's what I think I'll do. This is a solid 2-pack, though. Just quick little thoughts out there. There's some new stuff here. A lot of people complained that he's too short. Eh, I don't think it's that big of a deal. They weren't going to put new tooling into new taller legs for him because he's got to reuse the Viper legs, so they weren't going to do that with him. I already knew that was going to happen, but I still think he's pretty solid for a Mercer figure, you know. So pretty solid there. This is a really nice rendition of the, I believe it's Sergeant Slaughter that came with the Warthog originally. So there you go. There, maybe they'll give us a Warthog down the road. Who knows? The thing would actually not be too big. I mean, it could work. Could do that. All right, next up we've got we'll get a brand newer guy in here. A brand newer guy in here. What the hell am I talking about? We'll bring in the Royal Guard. I bought the 4-inch version of Mercer a month ago or two ago. Great figure. The original one from the what was it, the 3-pack or whatever in the 80s, the vintage one. By the way, it's Harkness has one word, like Agatha's a captain, Boomerang, George, Tigger, Harkness. Yeah, family reunions are rough. Oh, so it's Mark Harkness. Okay, sorry about that, Mark. Uh, Modern version. Oh, okay. Yeah, the modern version is pretty cool too. I don't think I have the modern version of Mercer. I might. I have to check. I can't remember. I can't remember. A member. But the Royal Guard here, is pretty cool. I would tend to agree with. I don't know if you guys watch Bobby Vallis channel, but I'm gonna go ahead and tend to agree with him here. They had a little. They had a video talking about the Royal Guard. I think he was like unboxing his or whatever. I think it was like him and somebody else. I can't remember who it was, but um, they were talking about the Royal Guard, and he was making the statement of, yeah, this guy should not be $42. They should have just made him a 2-pack because he is an army builder. I mean, I would tend to agree with that across the board, whether he made that statement or anybody did. Army builders, you want to either have them as 2-packs or you want to have them as single card release, so you can actually army build them. You know, as opposed to not being able to army build them at a $43 price. This is a problem that Hasbro keeps doing. Is they're overpricing and doing too much when it comes to army builders. You don't want to over budget your army builders. That you just pack them with what they need, and then if you want to do another version down the road, do the other version and another single pack, or just do a 2-pack with one version and the other. It would just make life a lot easier for everybody and not having to buy multiple and multiple and multiple for $42 a pop. And the other problem is that most people are going to be like, well, I'm just going to wait. I'm not going to buy them. The majority of people are probably going to wait. So, but I just want the traditional look. I like the other look, but I'm still, I got the other Royal Guard that I got in my pile of loot, so I have to wait for him. I'm only going to get two. I'm going to have one in the traditional look and the other one in that like crazy with the wings. And I heard the wings were really bad, and they kind of are, by the way. When I tried to put my wings on, they were kind of dog shit. But I'm just being honest. They has for some reason the GI Joe team is not good with wings. Not that should be their forte with wings, because there's not that many winged characters. But if you're going to make a character with wings, excuse me, like Nemesis Enforcer or the Royal Guards or whoever else, then make sure that you make the wings functional to the level of them not falling out of their back constantly, or actually being able to articulate them and move them in a way where it's functional. So, but I think overall, this guy is a great looking figure. I like the options that he comes with. Is a totally all new sculpt across the board. Everything in that pack is a new sculpt. Like there's nothing. I don't think there's anything reused on him. He comes with a cloth goods cape, which is really nice. I mean, there's a lot of tooling that went into this guy, which makes me think that he's going to get a retro card. I would assume he's going to, but the paint, the detail on him is really well done. Um, you know, when I see this guy, I just want to go. You can't help myself. That's what I want to do. He's like Mr. Jive Turkey. You know, you know, can't help myself. But yeah, really cool figure. I would say this is probably one of the best this year so far. um, it also comes with a gun too, which is pretty cool. There's his gun. I'm pretty sure his gun is new too. So they put a lot of tender love and care into making this guy, and you know, I would just hope that they would re-release him on a retro card. Maybe simplify him a little bit so you can make him look like this version, and then if you have your deluxe versions, you can make them look like more of like an elite royal guard for Cobra Law. That would be pretty sweet. So, this is one where I would actually prefer a re-release and a retro card. So, go ahead and do that. Yes, bro, get on that, please. But yeah, I think it's a nice figure, and we're gonna move on to the next one because I am really we're 45 minutes in, and I gotta hurry the hell up because there's way more I have to talk about. We'll switch gears here, and we'll go a little bit. We just went really hyper crazy looking as far as character design goes, and we'll go a little bit simpler. We got Zap here, and then I did pick up the OG13 Rock and Roll. And I'm going to bring in the rest of the crew so we can get our little checklist going as far as how many of these characters we need left. But yeah, so here's OG13 Rock and Roll. I really like him. He's I like the more modern take on him, the first release, better than this because this is obviously just supposed to be a very bland OG13 look, which I mean it does what it's supposed to do here, and it's nice to have it. This is another one I waited for a sale with him, but yeah, he's pretty much got the same legs, arms, everything. He comes with the throwing the horns up, hands. He comes with the what else? I'm trying to think. What else did he come with? This one doesn't have any tattoos, which is pretty cool. So this is the younger version of him, and the more modern one would be the older version, seeing as the other one has tattoos. Zap is pretty cool. Like I said, all the OG13 stuff is going to look a little bland, but I like the variation in the color of greens. Like he's got a darker green, he's got a lighter green. So it really does kind of break up the monotony as opposed to them being very uniform and looking exactly the same color. So it is actually pretty nice, I think. But Zap is pretty nice. Here he is with the helmet off. I really like his head sculpt quite a bit. Where a lot of GI Joe heads will kind of almost blend in with each other sometimes, this one really doesn't. It really does give off some of that character with the slick back hair and the mustache and the kind of grimacing mouth. But and the helmet fits on nice and tight, which is really cool. He does come with a LXR laser rifle, also. Hey Andy, what's going on, man? How you doing, buddy? Nice to see you. But yeah, it looks really good. Very happy with him. Um, don't really have too many issues with him either, other than they made him a lefty. And even if you are a lefty in the military, by the way, you would still actually shoot a rocket off your right shoulder. It's just kind of how they train people. So, fun little fact for you. But there you go. Pistol is, let's see, yeah, same reused pistol. It almost looks like a Glock with a flash hider on it, or some sort of flash hider. But yeah, he's pretty cool, and I'll bring in the rest of the crew, and we can take a look at all of them together so far. Hopefully, they will all stand. I'm going to bring in the most egregious foot of all the GI Joe feet, but first I'll bring in what I'm going to use for the OG 13 breaker. I'm going to be using this breaker that came with the Ram cycle. I'll be using, obviously, Clutch. I almost wonder if they're going to re-release Clutch in a single card. But there's Clutch. And then we've got, bring in, oh, drop stuff. Dropping stuff. Did I drop? Oh, I dropped his friggin'. We'll move him over here. Dropped his mortar. There's short fuse. And then we'll put rock and roll right there. Right there. That right there. I'm going to use the other. I'm using the other. Here's one of my favorites. One of my favorite G.I. Joes of all time. Move him over there. Stalker. Love Stalker. Second in command of the Joes. All right, here's the most egregious foot that you will ever witness in the classified line is this friggin' new Scarlet. Oh my god. The absolute drizzling shits when it comes to the feet. Oh my god. See that curve? Oh my god, I hate these feet so much. I hate them. I absolutely positively hate them. The figure overall is a nice one, but her feet suck ass. They are trash. I hate them. I hate your feet, lady. She should be named Mrs. Falls over every 6 seconds. And I'm pretty good with posing. Like I'm not the best poser in the world, but I know how to pose feet. And it doesn't matter with her. Like she's going to fall over regardless of what you do. So I think Zap had a line, talk to my silent friend, talk to my silent friend will twist you in a snake flavored pretzel. Oh shit. That's a good one. That's a good line right there. You were just looking at some classified Target today, Soldrum. What's up, Soldrum? How you doing, buddy? Got a Indian here. We got Soldrum in here. We got friggin' some OGs up in here. But yeah, all right. So let's get. I got to make room here, so we'll put Zap over here. We'll scoot you over because you got to be up front, second in command, and then we'll get the Snake Eyes. I'm going to use for my OG 13, which is this one that came with the 2-pack that came with Timber. I love this one. I think this is actually better than the retro one, to be honest with you. I think that retro one's kind of boring. This one's really nice. So we'll put him over here. We'll scoot him at the end. He's got to be with Scarlet because they like to hang out together, you know. So then last, or no, sorry, second to last, not last. One of my favorites, and one of my favorite vehicles for GI Joe was, the Mobat driver, which is, Steeler. I always like Steeler. I like his cool helmet. His helmet was pretty awesome. But there you go. We'll put Steeler back here. He's a good figure. Steeler right there. And last but not least, where'd he go? Where are you, sir? Where's Leader? Leader Cola? Do we serve Leader Cola? Am I tripping? I must be staring right at him. Where did I put? I must have put Hawk somewhere. Where? Oh, there he is. He's right here, hiding in the corner. Sorry about that. And we got Hawk. I actually just got this week this set because Amazon had a sale of it was $10 off, and then they had a coupon code of another $10 off. Because I was not paying $80 for this set. There's no way that was happening. It was just not worth it. I already have the missile, the what was it, the MMS. I have that. So I was like, I'm not paying $80 essentially for a Hawk figure. But it is accurate to the first edition of Hawk because he did come with the MMS system. So it is accurate. We all know that. But yeah, so $10 off, $10 off. It was like I paid I think I ended up paying overall like $50 for the set, which is not too bad. So 27 for the figure and then whatever is left. I think like 20 and change for the missile system. So not too bad. So, but there is our OG-13 so far. I do have Grunt in the more modern look, but I'm gonna wait for the retro carded one to come out because it just fits Grunt. That's the way Grunt's supposed to look. As far as the other two, we just haven't. They haven't been released yet. We're waiting on Grand Slam. We're waiting on Flash, and that's it. We've got all the OG-13. That's it. And then if they ever do a more, I don't know. I guess you would say OG-14 look for Shooter, because the take that we got on her is like Night Force, and I would assume that they're gonna do like an original look for her because we don't know her original look. We haven't even got her original look. Even in the 50th anniversary 3-pack with her, or was it a 3-pack or 2-pack? I can't remember. I think it was a 3-pack. But even in that pack from the 50th anniversary 4-inch line, that I don't think that was her OG look because she was in all black. So I mean I don't know. Maybe that's what they consider her look, but it would be nice to see her in an OG-13 scenario because that Night Force one that we got, it looks very modern. Like she's wearing sneakers and she wouldn't be wearing that in OG-13. I mean, I guess you could say that she would, but whatever. Um, I would hope that they would finish off the Flash and Grand Slam first, and then give us Shooter also. But yeah, there is your OG-13 so far, or our OG. Was it 1, 2, 3, 4? Our OG-10 so far. There's 5 in the front, 5 in the back. So waiting on that Grunt, waiting on that Grand Slam, Shooter, and Flash. So good times. All right, let me get these guys out of here. We'll move on. I've babbled enough about the OG-13. Bear with me a minute here. I have to get all these off the table. But it's nice to see that we got Zap, though. I like that. Let me get him out of here, too. Man, allergies are frickin' killing me right now. You guys live down south, then you know what I'm talking about with the friggin' oak pollen and the friggin' oh my god, brutal down here. Yesterday I was originally gonna do this video yesterday, but or at least shoot a video yesterday. I had to go to bed at like 9 o'clock last night because I couldn't even function. Like my nose would not stop dripping. I was like constantly sneezing. And I was only like outside for like maybe like I don't know, half an hour. Like the lady and I went to go get or Jen and I went to go get friggin' lunch together. And then I come home and I'm like my face is exploding. Like I don't know what was going on. So really bad allergies down south since I've moved down here about 7 years ago, but I'm still dealing with it constantly. It's really bad in the springtime. Oh, and that's what I was saying. I went with the more modern take for him, and I actually reversed him for my modern display for the Joes. I'm using the retro one as the modern, and the modern one as the OG 13, just because I think the greens are a little bit more drabby, you know. Barry and Wally West, you called for the Flash? Yeah, that's right. We yeah. You need to tell Hasbro to hurry up on that. But so next up, we'll go back to the OG 13 again, and I picked up the more cartoony looking breaker, which is going to be my more modern breaker. Even though this looks kind of like it wouldn't be that modern, but it'll have to do because Breaker was wearing green in the OG 13, so it just makes sense to use the other one. And my breaker, I think that here, let me just bring him in. Originally, this breaker did not come with this submachine gun. He didn't even come with a gun, I don't think. He just came with the ram cycle and the helmet, and that was it. So, this is a gridiron setup here. So, and then I gave him the sub. Technically, this is a AR, but um, but yeah. So there's the comparisons with the two. There's gridiron over here, and then there's Hasbro over here. So, but this is actually a really nice figure. I do think it is in a lot of ways better than this one. I think the overall construction of the body feels more cohesive. I think that the overall look for him looks really good. You also get the bubblegum head with this one. And it definitely is more modern because he does have the flip down tech and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool too. Oh, of course, I got to pull this knife out to get it out of here. But he's pretty much, I think, reusing the grunt body here. And then he's got his holster hanging off the back end here. And he comes with a pistol with an extended mag, which is pretty cool. He doesn't come with anything else. He doesn't come with like a rifle or anything, but it's pretty much it. He's a communication guy, so he would still have a rifle though. But anyway, I digress. There's your comparison with the two. He's still a nice figure though. I like him. I like the updated helmet too, where this one looks a little bit more classic, other than this like futuristic looking antenna. But I just kind of try to not focus on that. He almost reminds me. That helmet reminds me of Don Beebe. I don't know if you guys know who Don Beebe is. He's an old Buffalo Bill from football. But Don Beebe used to wear this like big old like helmet because I think he got dropped on his head. So he used to wear this like concussion helmet way back in the 80s and early 90s, where that was like not a normal thing to have. All right, I'm trying to save the best for last here, but I don't know who is the best, so we'll just move on to this guy. Move on to Wetsuit. So we got Wetsuit here. He's really cool. They went very classic here. It's very, very, very classic. I still think it works. He's a little bit loose in this ankle, but it's probably because I don't know. Maybe it's because the flippers are so heavy. But um, yeah, using the grunt torso. Oh, okay. The which one? The breakers using the grunt torso. Andy. But this wetsuit's pretty cool. I like him. Let's. I can't even remember what his unmasked head looks like. Yeah, they didn't give him the big old, you know, the big old curly Q Jufro, but you know, still looks good. It still looks like a little curly in the front, so it's pretty good. You know, looks nice. He's got his flashlight right here. He's got his pistol. But they went definitely very, very, very classic here. So very cool. Backpack looks good. He also does come with his little wave runner or whatever you want to call that. I don't know what that's called. His little, I'll just call it a wave runner. Oh, and the hoses do depeg, which I might end up gluing, to be honest with you. And then they just plug right into the backpack right there. So pretty cool. You got somebody for the eels to fight now, besides Torpedo. You can have him and Torpedo hang out together. And everything fits in nicely. He's pretty cool. I like him. Very simple, but cool. Really looking forward to the Hydro Vipers are my favorite. Another one of my favorite. I would say they're probably in the top 5 for me as far as from Cobra. As far as Cobra characters go, I've always loved the Hydro Vipers. I actually had a bunch when I was a kid. Well, and by a bunch I mean like 2 or 3. That was a bunch to me back when I was a kid. But it was the only one where I was like, I want a couple of them just in case one breaks because they were one of my absolute favorites. But I always envisioned the Hydra Viper as like his own character, not an army builder. He just seems so unique, and the fact that he was like experimented on, I was like, well, they wouldn't spend all this money experimenting on like hundreds of these guys. They would maybe have like an elite team of like 2 or 3 and then send them out. That's I always saw them as the eels, the Cobra eels are seen as the elite. And then you've got the Paravipers, which are essentially Cobra eels, but like the elite version of the Cobra eels because they have a multitude of different things that they can do. And then you had the Snow Serpents, which were also technically Cobra eels, and they were seen as in almost the same light as the Paravipers. And then I was always looked at the Hydra Viper as like the elite of the elite. If that makes sense, I don't know, but that's just my little kid brain working again. You know, that's what I was thinking. 33 years ago when I was like 8 or 7 or 8 or something like that. Now my mid 40-year-old brain is trying to still think the same. All right. So moving on. Next, we'll go with. I'm trying to take a look here and see if I forgot anybody. Oh, we'll talk about this guy. We got to the another one of the anniversary guys, the police officer. But he's pretty cool. Like I said, yet again, I think on Amazon he was going for like $50. I was like, no, I'm not paying $50. So I went to a local comic shop in Charlotte, and they were selling them for like 35. So I was like, yeah, I'll pick them up for 35. Not bad. So I was pretty happy with this. He does come with a ton of stuff. There's a lot of reuse here, obviously. The vest is reused from Law and Order, or just Law, not Order. He's a dog. The riot shield, I think, is new. I'm pretty sure that these arms are from the Techno Viper or Televiper. Excuse me, Techno Viper. Jesus, the Televiper. I'm just having problems here. The belt is also from Law. I want to say that the leg harness is from Doc because it holds the taser, and so is this pouch. And he also has a pistol right here, which technically I think police officers have their pistol at their drop leg, and the taser would be up here. I don't think they use a cross draw for a pistol, but that's just kind of how they have it set up for the figure. So, and it's a lot of reuse. So, the shotgun is actually from the His Tank gunner or tactician. I don't know. It came in the His Tank HasLab set, but there you go. So pretty cool figure though. I think it makes a lot of sense. I really like this kind of like almost automatic shotgun. I'm still holding out hope that we'll get an AA-12 down the road. Balaverse gave us one though, so that's pretty cool on that. I want the cop. That's been one I've been thinking about getting. Yeah, you should get him, man. He's pretty cool. He's pretty cool. He's fun. Best part, the the best, the best of the best of the best, sir. That's right. What's that from? I can't remember what that's from. We're the best of the best of the best, sir. I think like that's like a. Isn't that like a Eddie Murphy movie? I think. I'm not gonna fall for the banana and the tailpipe. Best of the best of the best, sir. You're hanging around with this guy too long. Oh no, that's from Men in Black. That's right. That's right. Men in Black. Okay. I don't know why my brain was thinking Eddie Murphy. It just sounds like something that would be in an Eddie Murphy movie. That he would be making fun of the person saying, "I'm the best of the best of the best, sir." But yeah, no, it's from MIB. I think it's that scene when they're like auditioning him, all the guys. But yeah, this is a cool figure. I think you guys will really like him. He's fun. I just don't. I don't like the four. Is he like 42 or something like that, or was he like 35? I can't remember. But yeah, he's a good figure. I think you guys will have fun with him if you don't have him already. All right, this one I want to get out of the way. This is another one I found on sale. Thank God, because I had no intention on buying this. Target actually had a sale. These guys were $35 for both of them, and now I have two out of the three for the mass device. The um, GI Joe and Cobra Diver, which GI Joe I don't think. Please correct me. I have no issue with that. I remember the Cobra Diver having a 25th anniversary figure, but I don't ever remember a GI Joe Diver having a release. So maybe I'm wrong, but I don't remember it. But I do remember him. I have a couple of these guys because I used to put them on my vintage Moray hydrofoil. But it is nice to have this guy because I like to have an abundance of different divers. So it's nice to have that variety. And it's also nice to have a Joe. I outfitted them a little bit different from each other, just so it didn't look too similar. I'm pretty sure they're reusing the same situation as the Cobra Eel. They both are. It's still the same Cobra Eel backpack. For some reason, this hose likes to detach more than this one does. I don't know why. Yeah, oh, they're both. Terry, you said they're both inspired after the 25th. Like I said, I definitely remember this, but did they have a Joe diver? Because I don't remember them specifically having a Joe diver. I remember the Cobra diver, not the Joe diver. Maybe he wasn't in yellow. Maybe it was a different one. Yeah, they did, or yeah, they didn't, because I don't. But either way, these are like it's like a solid troop builder, and I think if you were able to get a hold of the sale, or if they end up going back up on sale for around $35 or even $38, um, it's a good buy. because then you're buying them for under $20 per figure. When the eel bites your arm, it's amore. When the eel bites your arm, it's a bigger pizza pie. That's amore. Sorry, I had to do that. You can find them on eBay dirt cheap. Oh, so they did have a Joe Diver. Why don't I remember this? Yeah, I don't know. I always thought it was just like Torpedo. And oh my god, I always thought it was just like Torpedo. Oh my god, that was an old babe. Gross. I always thought it was Torpedo, Wetsuit, and yeah, I didn't know they had a Joe Driver. Was he in the 50th anniversary? Maybe. I'm really trying to place this in my brain because I don't remember seeing one. But yeah, they come with a pretty much, I want to say, the same stuff. He comes with a pretty much everything that he comes with. He does too in different colors. So like that submachine gun, he gets one, but it's just like got a black stock on it, where this one's got a yellow. They both come with their harpoons. He comes with a yellow one. He comes with a red one. With the, I think it's like the band that goes around their wrists so they don't lose the spear gun. Pretty much, like I said, vice versa. A lot of reused parts from the anniversary diver, which is an amazing figure, by the way. There's one item that the Cobra Diver comes with that the Joe Diver doesn't, and that is the little, I don't know what that's called, sled thing, or I don't know what the technical term is for it. It came with the original, the 20 or the 50th anniversary diver, or 20. I'm trying to think what the hell. The anniversary diver, I'll just say. 25th anniversary based off of the early episodes of G.I. Joe, part 5-part episodes. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yeah. I do remember that. I think that's, isn't that when they had the friggin' Mara in that episode? The girl that was like a friggin' mermaid or whatever? Or she had like gills or whatever? Or she turned like blue? But pretty cool. It's nice to also have the piece of the mass device because I think they're going to eventually give us that. So pretty nice to get that. So get them on sale though. Don't pay full price. Not worth it. Right. Who's left? Here. We're getting down to the nitty gritty. Thematically, I think these two make sense to have together, so I'll just bring them out together. Or actually, you know what? I might save them. I'll do this guy next. I'll do this guy. We still got some. We still have 1, 2, 3, 4. 4? Is that it? 4 figures? 4 figures? 4 figures left? I think so. Yes, 4 figures left for this kind of JoJo video. All right, so I bring up the Night Viper. This is a really good one. I did get a second Night Viper because I always like to have them in teams of 2. I'm really hoping, I'm really crossing my fingers here, that we get a Jungle Viper down the road at some point because he's one of my absolute favorites from Pursuit of Cobra. We already got Shadow Tracker. I'm really hoping that we get a Jungle Viper. Please give us a Jungle Viper. Anyway, he's really cool. I really don't have too many complaints about this guy at all, if or at all. The backpack looks great. New sculpt. I want to say pretty much, I would say across the board here. Maybe the arms are reused, but I don't remember them having any other character having these elbows. New sculpt for the rifle too. Bandolier looks new. Helmet looks new. Everything looks pretty much new. Even the little armband full of um, rounds look new. Um, Pistol looks new. I mean, this thing is something else. Let me get up close here. Looks pretty cool. It looks like it's gonna really. This looks like a 50 cal kind of. Got to get second one of the Night Viper. Yeah, yeah, man. I think you'll really be happy with it too. That's amore. Now I kind of want to watch The Godfather a little bit. I don't know why that makes me think of The Godfather. But yeah. Yes, Beverly Hills Cop. Oh yeah, I love Beverly Hills Cop. He's like he's like, we're not gonna fall off of the banana in the tailpipe, and he's like, hey man, you've been hanging around with this guy too long. You gotta let it come from the chest, man. You gotta, hey man, I ain't gonna let no, but I ain't gonna fall for no banana in my tailpipe. You know, I'm not gonna fall for the banana in the tailpipe. Well, I love one of my favorite parts is when he gets thrown out of the window and he's trying to explain to the cops. He's like, "Man, I just got thrown out of a fucking window. What's the?" Everybody, he gets thrown out of the window, and like people are walking by, and they're like, "Oh my god!" But then they just keep like walking past him or like walking over him, like no big deal. It's hilarious. Oh my god, that movie is so funny. It's so fucking funny. I love it. So good. Anyway, he's awesome though. You can also take this little sight off. So if you want to have him maybe not with his long distance sight on, you can do that. Let me get this off. I'm gonna shake the camera. You really got to pull it off. It's really a nice, like, tight fit. So there you go. There's the regular look without the extender on, and then there it is with the extender. What do you guys think of the new Beverly Hills Cop? It was all right. It's kind of forgettable a little bit. There we go. There you go. With that, he's very shiny. He is very shiny. I think he's coming off more shiny on camera just because of the lighting and stuff, but he's pretty shiny. It's pretty cool. He's a good one. He's definitely one of my favorites of the year so far. So there's a Night Viper. All right, moving on. We'll talk about Lifeline next. I immediately, as soon as I got him, I took the pistol off and I gave him a flare gun instead. He is a rescue um, doctor, so he's going to be rappelling down from. Hopefully, we get a HasLab Tomahawk. If there is a HasLab that needs to be a HasLab, the Tomahawk should be offered. I still think we shouldn't have got the Dragonfly. We should have got a damn Tomahawk. I think the Tomahawk is far more iconic than the Dragonfly, to me, at least. Maybe that's a discussion in the future. What's more iconic, the Dragonfly or the Tomahawk? To me, the Tomahawk. I'd rather have a Tomahawk than a Dragonfly. I'd rather have a multi-seater Chinook over a assault helicopter. That's just me, but it's probably going to be crazy expensive. I mean, when you think about it, if they did this right, just follow me on this. If they offered a HasLab Tomahawk, right? Now I've seen 3D printed ones on Etsy. There's I think there's like a website, there's like a YouTube channel that came up that did one too. They have a website, but I don't know how much I trusted that website, and I think the sculptor was originally worked for Hasbro, and I think he did like a couple other vehicles too. Um, Yeah, I like all the accessories that Lifeline came with too. I do. I think he came with better accessories than Doc did. But I still like that Doc figure. Um, I think if they, like I said, if they came, if he only, if the, oh my god, I can't talk. If the Tomahawk just came with a, with what the hell's his name? God, it just came with one figure and no other tiers, right? Lift ticket. There we go. If the Tomahawk only came with lift ticket, would you buy it if it was 400? Now, when you think about it, it sounds like a lot, but when you look at the his tank came with three figures and the tank, and that was $300. You look at the, or even if it was like 425 with lift ticket, and lift ticket comes with accessories and all that stuff, would you buy it? I mean, it's going to be a bigger vehicle. Like it's going to be huge. So, I mean, I would buy it, but I'm a huge fan of the Tomahawk. So I guess I'm biased on a lot of levels. Um, I think that is more of a HasLab than a Snowcat. I would have put that over the Snowcat. I would have put a Mauler or a Mobat over the Snowcat. I still don't like that Snowcat. I still don't like it, and I don't like the tiers either. I think that's probably the weakest HasLab that they've done is the Snowcat. Anyway, but yeah, I mean, I'm just waiting for some sort of Tomahawk so I can put him with the Tomahawk and a couple other characters that I always have as like a strike team. He was always a part of that strike team. Um, Lifeline. I always loved Lifeline. But he's really cool. Like I said, I gave him a flare gun instead of that pistol. Everything else he comes with a knife. And if you open up his little case here, you cannot fit the case. You cannot fit the what you call it. You can fit the breather mask in there for oxygen, and you can actually plug it in. There's a porthole right there. It's very hidden, but it is right there. You can plug that into that porthole, and then he also comes with a. I hate when I can't think of things. I'm gonna have you guys as my proxy from now on. You guys just talk for me. Um, um, a saline solution bag. An IV. My God, I couldn't think of IV. I used to be a I used to be a friggin' intermediate. Uh, anyway, I digress. Backpack is really cool. Um, briefcase, nice. He also comes with a little flashlight right there. And a lot of people had issues. They were like, I can't get his goggles over his helmet. And I'm like, I had no issues. It took me 30 seconds to do. Dragonfly Tomahawk. What I need is a Bell 47. I mean, if it, if that's what you really want, I mean, you could probably get that 3D printed. Or if you have a 3D printer, you could probably work on it. I have a 3D printer, and I am almost damn near considering purchasing Tomahawk files and just printing one myself because I don't think they're ever going to do one. So I might have to do that. The Mash Chopper, yeah, yeah. I used to watch Mash. I mean, a Bell. I mean, if you 3D printed a Bell 47, it probably wouldn't. It would probably take maybe about a couple days for you to print that. Maybe about a week, if that, depending on your printer or whatever you get. But yeah, I think that's going to have to be the plan. I might have to try and see if there's somebody selling files out there for a Tomahawk and just print my own up piece by piece, put it all together. You know. But I really want one bad. It would be nice to have a licensed one. Remember when each Joe piloted their own Tomahawk? 6 Joes and their own Tomahawk. I know it was like, what was it? That was that one where I think it was at the dream sequence one where they're all having nightmares. They're like, okay, let's take the tomahawk instead of like all of them just getting into one tomahawk. They all like each took a tomahawk, and I was like, what? Why would you do that? It's like an assault chopper. It's got guns on the side. It's got missiles. It's got firing cannons and such. Why didn't you guys just all get in there and just get in one or two? Why did you guys need to take 6 different tomahawks? But I really do think you guys, besides the inaccuracy of him having a gun, I even tried to fit the taser in there originally. I was going to put a taser in there. It does not fit. This is a very small holster. This I actually had to swap the flare gun because I took the flare gun from Doc because it's a little bit smaller in size than the one that came with the police officer. Because originally I was going to give him the police officer one, but for some reason that new mold for the police officer one is thicker than the Doc one, but it's the same mold, so it's weird. Maybe they just resized it slightly, or however it came out of the mold. It came a little bit bigger, but this one kind of fits. So I'm just gonna give them that. I think it works. So, but Lifeline's really good. I think you guys are really, really appreciated. All right. So next up, we're gonna do one of my absolute favorite GI Joes of all time, and that is Crazy Legs. I love Crazy Legs. I know a lot of people probably don't. They're like, "Oh my god, I hate the baby. Hate he's got the red and blah blah blah, and he's got this like tan. It looks like caramel. Ma ma ma." I hear the same argument. It's like an echo chamber argument all the time. It's old and lame. I like him. I think he's cool. He's a lot of fun. Night Force version. I also have too because I did get a Dragonfly. Yes, he does come with the screaming "I poop my pants" face. We all know, but I still think he's a great figure. I am kind of would pound the table and say, why in the holy hell would you give us this new head when you had a perfectly good head with the Night Force version? Why would you do that? Or why not just give us both damn heads, seeing as we didn't get the cap from the Night Force version? We didn't get the other amenities like the other goggles. We only got one pair of goggles. So if you took plastic away from this one, why not just either give us the regular faced head or just give us 2 heads? Why would you only give us the screaming face head? I mean, yeah, that's his war face. Hell yeah, but like, do you always want him to have screaming face all the time? It's like he's yelling at me all the time, and I'm like, I like you. You're cool, man. He's like, nah, yeah, yeah. You know, scary, man, scary. But I'm gonna have him repel, being repelling down or whatever, or just he's just going for it, man. I'll put the gun in here if I can fit that in there, like the original artwork. Slide it in there. That is a terrible job of me sliding that in there. And he probably wouldn't have a magazine in there when he's doing it, but you can kind of get it to like it's like the artwork. This is a terrible job of me posing this right now, but I'm doing my best with. Ah! Scared to death. Ah! It's hilarious. So there's that. But I think you guys will like them. I know a lot of people probably don't have the Night Force version, but if you do, you can always swap heads with this one if you don't like it. It does fit. I've done it, so there's that. Do you guys want to see a comparison with the Night Force version? Let me know. Get in the chopper. Come on. Do it now. Right here. Come on. Do it. These backpacks. They just got to turn them into real backpacks. They got to stop with this peg shit. It just. Ugh. It's not so bad with him. His actually stays in pretty decently. But some of the other ones, like the older ones, oh my good lord. Pretty bad. Let's put his stock out. And I am very glad because I have the Pursuit of Cobra version of him and his rifle with the stock moving. It's horrible. Even the vintage figure, like the stock would fall off all the time. Cool feature, bad design. But this stock is beautiful the way it folds. It really does, like, it's nice and tight, so it holds in place. So no issues there. But I really do like this figure. There's a ton of new tooling on him. The entire body is new. And obviously you are getting a new head regardless. So there's that. But I love me some Crazy Legs. He's awesome. So there's Crazy Legs. And we are down to the final two. Final two. Sorry, I'm really stuffed up. All right. I don't know which one to do. All right, I'll do. All right, here's Pythona. I finally pulled the trigger and got a Pythona. Um, it was expensive. I'm not gonna lie. I had to pay the piper. Um, she was sold out. Like, I want to say, I don't think, like, every time on Hasbro Pulse, whenever they do, like, oh, we'll put it up on Hasbro Pulse for everybody else, and they're gone in like 10 seconds. So I had to pay the piper here. I think I paid 90 for her. It's just what it is. Sometimes you got to pay the piper. And but she's really cool, man. I'm very, very happy with her. She comes with a screaming head. She comes with all of the items that she uses, including some new items. But all the items that she uses in the movie when she's attacking the Cobra base. So, but I like this kind of stoic head because the very aggressive screaming head, she's very calm, cool, and collected. Is Pythona. Even when she's fighting, she's very stoic. So, but it is still a cool alternate head with the teeth showing and everything. It's just showing another side of her. But the eyes, the head sculpt is beautiful. You get two different pom poms. You know, she's got this long one, and she's got a shorter one, so you can put the hood up, or you can just pop that off and not have the hair on. And put the hood up too. So, but the sculpt of the body looks great. Like, it looks so good. They did such a good job on her. And it's funny because as much as I've heard so many people bitch and moan about Cobra Law, why is all their stuff sold out all the time? Like, are the people that don't like it still buying it? I don't like. Why would you buy it if you don't like it? I don't understand that. I've never understood that. If you don't like something, why would you buy it? I don't get it. It makes no logic. But it's pretty cool how she's got this like tattered or like holes in the bottom, and her cape actually is textured, which is really nice. And she just looks so good. The things I don't like about her is that she should have came with at least one claw hand. Not I don't know what the goo hand is. That goo hand is stupid. It's terrible. And then the other hand is like this weird smoke hand. I don't know what the sculptor was thinking with either one of those hands, but they both look like hot garbage. So I don't like those. Just give us some claw hands. You don't need to put goo on them. I don't know why we're doing that, but maybe we'll get a second release of her, 7 years down the road. Who knows? So they like to make you wait. Like they should have re-released Nemesis Enforcer, even though he's called Nemesis Immortal now. But they should have re-released him already. I don't know why they didn't do that. I mean, you paid every single one of the Cobra Law characters that we've got all have all new tooling. And you're spending all this money on new tooling, and it's unique for that character, and you're not re-releasing them. I would be pumping those things out like butter, bro. I don't get the logic yet again. I don't get it. Let's sit on it for 5 years and make them wait. Why? Just re-release them. What's the problem? You already have the tooling. Just do it. Anyway, she's really great. I would, if you can get your hands on her, or if you already do, then you already know. But if you can, I would not spend $90 on her like I did. Don't do that to yourself. She comes with a ton of stuff. She's really cool. If you're into the packaging thing, I don't really care about packaging that much, but don't. She's not worth $90. Don't do that. Don't do what I did. Do the opposite of what I did. Okay. Or if you want to spend the $90, who cares? It's your money. You do what you want with it. The last one that we're gonna get to in the live stream. The last one. How many friggin' figures did I do today? We did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 21. Here's number 22 we're going to do. Hit and Run. Just got him a couple days ago. Found him actually in store. I was shocked. I could not believe that he was the only one sitting on the peg. I'm like, you guys passed on Hit and Run? Okay, that's fine with me. Luck of the draw, I just happened to find him. And yeah, I'm pretty pleased with him. I think that the camo is pretty weak on him. If there is a criticism I could have about this, camo is like early classified days weak. I don't know for some reason why they can't get the pattern to go on the side of the legs. It's like it just here and then the back. And for some reason, it's still not as predominant of a dark color as I would want. It needs to be a shade darker for the camo, but it's fine. It does the job, I guess. He actually comes with a newly sculpted Beretta, which I don't think we got before. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we got it with. Did we get it with Steeler? I don't know. We might have. But it is pretty reminiscent of the vintage figure. I think he did come with a Beretta. Let me check Steeler really quick and see if he came with one. I don't think he did. Maybe he did. I don't know. Let's see. Nope. He came with the. There's a friggin' flying bug I just had to kill, sorry. He came with this instead. I think it technically is a Beretta, but it's got the extended barrel on it for a silencer or suppressor or hush puppy or whatever you want to call it. So no, he did not. But you can actually fit. So I have seen other reviews of this guy, and it's actually an inaccuracy. And I'm going to talk about it because a lot of other reviewers, multiple reviewers, said that you cannot fit all of his stuff into his bag, and yes, you can, because I just did it. I did it. You can fit the hook in there. You can fit the handle in there. The only thing you can't, well, you can fit the goggles in there if you want to. The only things you can't fit in there is the helmet and the rifle. That's it. But you just saw it. You witnessed it right here. There's his line for the grapple line. This is his kind of like hook. He hooks it on here and then it slides it down. So that goes in there. And then you've got the grapple hook right here. And I'm not sure, this feels like a new sculpt because I'm pretty sure the other grapple hooks did not look like this. Um, but you can fit it in there. You just gotta give it a little. Give it. You are the witness. You're all witnesses. I'm pointing right at you. You see it. Oh yes, you do. Anyway, it's Kurt Angle would say. It's true. Oh, it's damn true. He's got a knife right here, and he's got his gun. I already talked about that. I love mountain climbers. Alpine is one of my favorite Joes of all time. I love him too. He's fantastic. I'm hoping that we do get a classic version for Alpine down the road. That would be fan friggin' tastic because I think we got more of a modern take on him. But that is another fantastic figure that no one really talks about is that Alpine. But I think between him and Hit and Run, they are fantastic. A lot of people complain about the fingerless gloved hands. I don't really have any issues other than I just wish that this one was a vertical, not a lateral hinge. That's about it. But he holds on to the weapons fine. I don't see what the problem is. He also comes with this big old knife. Some machete. The machete goes in here. Machete. And then yet again, a lot of people complained about the goggles not fitting over their head or over the helmet. And look, took me 30 seconds to get the goggles sitting over his helmet. I don't understand what other reviewers are doing, but okay. 30 seconds for me to do. I don't know what's going on with you guys out there, but did I show this other knife? I don't think I did. But this one's got a little hole, and so does the machete. And you can fit his little finger in there, his little trigger finger in there, if you want to. Like this. And you can do that. So now he's gonna poke you. He's like Palpatine. He's very stabby. There you go. So there you go. That is Hit and Run. I think you guys will really like him. Yeah, I think everything works with him. Some people like to take the head off to put the helmet on. I just push it on. It fit perfectly fine. But I love the uniqueness of him. There's a lot of reuse here. I want to say that I haven't seen these boots before. I was trying to compare yesterday to see if these boots look any or were reused on anybody. I don't think they are. I think these might be new. But he is also less egregious to stand. He likes to stand easily, so that's nice. So no issues there, even with the extra weight on his back with the bag. But he's pretty fun, man. I like him quite a bit. And you can also put the string for the grapple hook through here, tie it on, and he will dangle. So she taught me how to hang, and I taught her how to dangle. We was like peas and carrots. Okay, I had to do that. But yeah, I think that's it. That's all of the most recent pickups within the last few months. And what do you guys think? What do you guys think? Which one was your favorite that I showed off today? Talked about today? Did I miss any points? Are you guys planning on getting any of these or passing on them? I can't fit them all on the screen, or as I would. But yeah, Hit and Run's pretty awesome. Pretty cool. I'm going to get some shots with him tomorrow. Him and Alpine are going to go on an excursion, I think. It is a little bit hindered due to the harness, but, you know, you kind of have to expect that. He's also a little bit loose in this leg. Like, it's not like loose, but it's getting there, you know. Still looking for crazy legs? Oh, you should be able to find. Oh, okay. You're trying to buy them in the store? I found Hit and Run at a comic shop. So, boop. There we go. See if I can get him looking properly here. Yeah, if you're looking like my WalMarts, they don't stock GI Joe classifieds anymore. I haven't seen a GI Joe classified in a Walmart since like I want to say wave 1 of the retro series. I think they just stopped stocking them. Yeah, he's got too much. This bag's getting in the way for me to get really him looking down the sights. If I take my time with it, I can really get him to do it. But there we go. I really don't like this pose whatsoever. But he can do it without the bag on, definitely. I mean, I could still probably get him to do it, but check out Ollie's. I only have one Ollie's in my area, and it's right up the street from me. But the problem is that they haven't restocked, they haven't reset or restocked anything. Even Christmas, they usually reset stuff, and it's just a bunch of like Black Series like stuff from like Rogue One, the re-released Rogue One figures that they repainted and redid. There even the Lady J's that were peg warming in there are gone. Like they got rid of them. So, but you know, hopefully down the road. I even checked my own local Ross because we have that down here. Nothing. They never have diddly poo. They always have like a couple like McFarlane figures at Ross. I haven't gone to GameStop. Sometimes they'll get like retro cards in for GI Joe, but it's always expensive at GameStop. So and I still don't know how GameStop's in business, to be honest with you. I really don't know. But yeah, the only other Ollie's in my area is like I think 30 or 40 minutes away. Besides the one in that's like down up the street, maybe like 2 minute drive. So thanks for the heads up on that Black Series 2 pack. Oh yeah, absolutely, bud. I'm glad to help Andy any way I can, bud. It's a great 2 pack, and we're getting an all new Darth Treya. I'm not sure if she's reusing it, but at least we're getting an all new character that is Legends. So, and I think the last Legends pack that we got was what, that 4 pack for the Thrawn set with Joris Sabayoth and Luke Skywalker that I shot a review of. It's a great set, by the way. If you guys haven't got that set, it's a friggin' phenomenal set. We need more legend stuff, man. I mean, they got to be running out of ideas because we haven't really got anything. Oh, I did get her. I did get, you know, she has got quite the face on her, Sigourney Weaver. But this is a great body. I already used this body for my Wedge, or not Wedge, because Wedge is supposed to be a little bit shorter. For Biggs, for my custom Big. I'll go get Biggs. I'll go get my custom Biggs so you guys check that out. So you can see the comparisons between the two. But because Sigourney Weaver, I think she's technically like 6 feet tall. It's perfect for an updated pilot. So here is original Luke Skywalker. I'll put hit and run over here so while I'm in the shot. Here's original Luke Skywalker really quick. And then here's Sigourney Weaver, right? And then here's my custom Biggs. It's perfect because Biggs is supposed to be taller than him, like significantly taller than Luke. So it fits perfectly. So I'm willing to assume that they're going to re-release this body and reuse it now for a lot of different characters. So, but pretty cool. I love it. Here they are, feet to feet, next to each other, lined up, and it's perfect. And there's the head sculpts. This is the anniversary or the archive one, and this is a custom head. So pretty cool though. I was happy with it. I was so happy that we got an updated one. I had to get two of her to do Biggs. But hopefully we get a Porkins. I'm really hoping for a Porkins, man. That head sculpt did a Wesley brother join Rogue Squad. Did a Wesley Wesley brother? Like Wesley Crusher? Join Rogue Squad. Oh, this head sculpt. Oh, I know. Oh, okay. Yeah. I know what you mean. Now I caught on. I was a little late to class there. Sorry. But yeah, I love this hit and run. He's great. I think you guys will like him. What would be my favorites out of the ones I got? I would definitely say hit and run's a favorite. Royal Guard. You got to put the Royal Guard in there. Let me move my camera up. Harry Potter. Oh, I'm not. You know what? I've seen the Harry Potter movies. I can't remember any of anything from Harry Potter. I've always been more of like a Lord of the Rings. Um, like I've seen Game of Thrones. Like Jen is super into Game of Thrones. My better half, and she's into Lord of the Rings. She knows everything about those two. Like every little minute detail. I'm like the Star Wars one out of the two of us and Lord of the Rings. But she knows way more of the Lord of the Rings than I do, and I know way more Star Wars than she does. So, um, pork chop sandwiches. That's right. You gotta get your pork chop sandwiches. Where is he? Where's my pork chop? Pork chop. Pork lawn. Pork chop sandwiches. There you go. Who would be another favorite? Well, obviously Pythona is in there too. I mean, we got a friggin' she's a $90 figure for God's sake. I still would say Crazy Legs, even with my biases set aside. I think he's a phenomenal figure. I really do. I think he's really, really good. Um, we'll just leave it at that. I'll just do those four. Budo's really good though. He's really good. You know what else is really good? This friggin' 2-pack is so good. I love this 2-pack. I love this update for Quick Kick. He's so good. Let me go get Beachhead too, because he's friggin' cracking awesome. And I think this is the rifle that came with Snow Job originally, but it just fits. It fits so well. It's so good. This is such a good 2-pack. Nobody ever talks about this 2-pack either. It's so good. It's so good. I got to put his swords back in there. I don't know why they're out, but it's so good. A lot of reuse, but and it's just pretty much just like a reuse and repaint and mash up for Quick Kick, but and just a repaint for Beachhead. But it just works so well. It's so good. You guys are gonna Don't miss out on these two. They're a good one. They are a good one. But yeah, those will be my top four. Throw Budo in there too. Oh man, well, all right, we'll do top five. How's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Night Viper beats out Budo. There we go. Um, but yeah, pretty excited for the future releases. Um, I don't know what the HasLab will be. It won't be. It'll probably be something I don't want again. I passed on the Rattler. I passed on the Snowcat. Um, I do have the Dragonfly and the Hiss Tank. That's it. So I have those two. I have all the other vehicles though. Those are fun. A lot of people poo pooed all over the Yaw Striker, but I got my stuff clicked in, and here's the major problem: if you have an issue with getting the cage on the Yaw Striker, just line it up and glue it. I don't know why no reviewer said glue it. They all just complained about it not clicking in. Should it have had spots where you can click the cage in? Absolutely. But if you want to have it clicked in, it's going to stay in there permanently anyway. Then just glue it. It takes 30 seconds extra to do. I don't understand. Probably the wiper figure. The wiper? The wiper? Yeah, simple glue. Exactly. That's what I'm saying, Bill. Like, no, not one reviewer said, "Oh, it's not a big deal though. You can just glue it." But I said it. I don't know why anybody else didn't. It takes 30 seconds to do. It's like it's like I don't know, for some reason people feel like they should just be spoon-fed sometimes. They need to be spoon-fed, and you don't need to be. You're an adult. You don't need to be spoon-fed anymore, honey. You're not in the high chair anymore. You can figure out a way to fix it. It just glue. Now, granted, they should have had a clicking feature for the cage, but if so facto they don't do that. All right, so that will, I think, bring this to a close. I think it will. It will bring us to a close. But definitely should have been made better. Yeah, yeah, it should have for the price. Yeah, but I think Cranecase is awesome. I think all the stuff that he comes with is awesome. I think it's a better offering than the friggin' Vamp. I would get that over the Vamp. I will say this. There is one thing that you cannot just simply fix with glue, and that's the turret on top. That you can't, because if you want it to rotate, you won't be able to get it to rotate, and the peg should have been longer, and the peg hole should have been deeper. And that's something that you really, I mean, you're gonna have to glue it because it's gonna pop off. That is a major thing that I do agree with, though, with a lot of the reviewers, is that if you want that turret to swivel, you can't just glue it. But the cage itself, you can glue. So I will agree with most reviewers on that, but the other thing I don't agree with. Let's see. But I do agree. It should have been made better, but it's Hasbro. That and the feet. See, look, I'm gonna bring this up again. These damn feet. Here's the foot flat. You can see how the foot is curving up. I'm not making it up. Look, you can see the curve in the sculpt. Stop doing that. Do this to me. No more. Do this no more to me. Okay. Stupid. But anyway, I digress. I think it'll bring this to a close. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I do have channel memberships available. You just hit the join button if you want to do so. Like, comment, subscribe if you want to do that for free. Thank you to Woodman29 and Terry Turner for being continued members. I appreciate you guys. I have multiple tiers and stuff like that. And if you do become a channel member, I also do giveaways for channel members only. This next coming week, I'll be doing 2 giveaways, one for subscribers and one for channel members. If you are a channel member, you get a shot at both because you're a channel member. There you go. Enjoy this for my first time on the channel. I appreciate you, Bill. Thank you to Bill. Billionaire 416. Thank you for hanging out, man. I appreciate you. Thank you to Terry Turner. Thank you to A Indy. Thank you to Mark Harkness 101. Thank you to Soul Drum 86. I appreciate you. Go check out his channel and A Indy's channel as well. Soul Drum is been talking a lot about the WWE 2K disaster and bringing a lot of that to light. So a lot of people need to thank him for saying a lot of things that a lot of people have not been saying about that game. And I'm convinced that a lot of people need to recognize what he's been saying about that game for the very longest time, for years, that a lot of people haven't. So, but also check out A Indy's channel. He does a ton of reviews and stuff like that, and he's also a great person. So be sure to check him out, give him a like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Transporter 48, thank you for hanging out, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, I do agree. It does, and I'm sorry I missed your comment there. It does make the Night Force one more valuable, but you do want to give people variety, and why not throw the other head in there? I don't, I would never change. Oh wait, I missed a couple of his. Sorry, Transporter. I would never change that gun. It looks kind of weird for Lifeline. Just paint it a non-threatening color. Let it be that if it bothers you. You're gonna paint a gun a non-threatening color? I don't know if that works. Like, okay. I don't know if that necessarily works. If you just paint a gun a non-threatening color, it becomes not a gun anymore. I don't think I've ever heard that in my life. But okay. Brenda, thank you for hanging out. I appreciate you so much, and I'll be sure to check out that link also. And Soul Drum. I'm just trying to see if I missed anybody here. I think that's it for commenters. If I did miss you, I apologize. But yeah, thanks for hanging out. I appreciate all of you. Sean Jones 375. What is up? We're just catching the end of the stream, but you'll be able to watch this on playback. I appreciate you though for popping in, man. I do. For Lifeline, it's Nerf or nothing. That's right. He's gonna get you with them Nerf guns. He's gonna concuss you eventually when he shoots a whole mag at you full of Nerf. We'll get those old school Nerf ones where you had like the double barrel. This is like back in the 90s. You had this like double barrel one, and it shot these balls, and you could fit like I think 3 in each barrel, and you had to like pump it with this like pump handle on the back, and it would shoot them out. Yeah, he's gonna use one of those. We'll put one of those in his holster, but all right, that'll bring it to a close. I appreciate you all for hanging out with me. Thanks for making me laugh. Hopefully I was able to make you laugh just a little bit. And but yeah, I'm trying to think what else is coming in the future. I guess I'm going to do those 2 giveaways. One is going to be for channel members only. Yet again, I'll reiterate. The other one's going to be for subscribers, but the channel members will also be able to enter into the subscriber one because they are channel members. That's just the way it works. And that will be probably the Monday after my birthday. So not this coming Monday, but the next following Monday. I'll be doing that. And I'll be doing that giveaway live. Lifeline, are you guys using me for violence again? Yeah, right. Um, yeah. Poor Lifeline. He's a nervous wreck all the time. I feel like that guy. Just poor nervous wreck. Waking up with hot sweats and whatnot. Anyway. I digress. I hope you guys have a great night. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Be safe. Enjoy your figures. And I'll see you guys on the flip side.